Chris Schwagga, welcome.
Thank you, Rwanda.
This is our first conversation of Shape the Future called DIÁLOGOS. DIÁLOGOS means conversations
Okay.
in Spanish. And we are trying to bring out this topic of decolonization. We are artists, and I would like to start with some questions which are in these cards. And maybe I will just put them on the table, and you pick one and ask me, or I pick one and ask you.
Those are beautiful cards, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. I am very happy that you are for the third time in Hamburg.
It's always good to be back. Always good to be back. I love Hamburg.
Yes. That
most beautiful city.
And Hamburg loves you.
Yes, loving me back. That's okay. I can't complain on that side. That's perfect.
Because, yes, I mean, we did the last project in June last year, Decolonize Cities, which was decolonizing performative tour. It was between the museum MARKK, in which we are right now, and the main building of the university, which was the former Colonial Institute, or was built as the Colonial Institute. Mm-hmm. And at that time, you were participating with us in the project.
Yes.
We really enjoy it. And right now, we are working together for the 8th Triennale of Photography, which is going to happen in May. Mm-hmm. And yes, so I thought it's a good opportunity to talk to you. You want to start, or do you want me to start? Just pick one.
I don't know. Can I pick any card?
Any card.
Any card. You start. You start.
I start.
Yes.
Okay. Let's start with this one. The first card is the first question is: have you experienced racism in Hamburg?
It is. I don't know if you can call that racism. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's racism or not. I haven't been. I don't stay long enough. But I've had some people looking at me a certain way, and that is often. I don't know if it could be like racism or it's just general discrimination in a way. Actually, because I have dreads and there is a thing associated with it. So I've seen some things, and I've seen the looks, or people like standing a certain way around me, but I would just say no. Mm-hmm. Yes. Have you experienced racism?
Oh yes, I did. As I arrived to Hamburg, I couldn't speak German, and it was I'm talking about more than 30 years ago. And at that time, it was this daily racism, or this word which was called Ausländer raus, and which means foreigner, go foreigner home, mm-hmm. Something like that. And yes, I heard that saying to me one man. I was sitting in the bus, and I couldn't speak German. I understood that he was talking to me and that he was saying this to me. He used these two words. And I couldn't say anything. And what was more surprising to me was anyone around said anything, any people around in the bus. And in that moment, I said to myself, okay, this is not going to happen anymore. I'm going to talk so good German that if I experience this kind of verbal racism, I will have the tools to answer. Yeah.
I love that you stood up for yourself, even though nobody has said anything, and you said to yourself, "I'll learn," instead of just going into another mode.
The victim.
Yes, you decided, I will learn so that I can defend myself.
Exactly.
Because nobody has did it in the past.
Yes, true.
Yes.
And I think this is something which is empowered, and I think why it's important to know the language, and to also, because what you're saying about when is racism starts and when when it ends or when
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
racism
exactly.
and when it's
Yeah,
not.
exactly.
And
It's
then
really
this
blurry.
feeling,
Yes,
this is
yes.
subtle
Oh,
thing
you
which
know it. You know that,
and
yeah.
you notice it, and so people get very surprised when I'm in perfect German saying something in German, like, "Do you have a problem with me?
Yeah.
Hast du ein Problem mit mir?" And then it's like, it's sometimes it's like they cannot. I think they cannot assume for the first sight if I can German or not. Yes, I think this is a very important aspect of being here, living here, and
Speaking the language, yeah.
But I go for the second.
Oh, okay. I love this card, so I'll go with that. I love the pattern in the back. So, that is a good question for you, and it's related to the work you're doing right now as well. Are there any monument you are missing in the city?
Oh, well, I think it's not the time to build monuments right now in this era, but I think the fact that there are so many monuments dedicated to men and to white men, I would love to see a monument for a woman, maybe which is a woman of color, and which I can identify with. I know I'm asking too much because I am just one little part of a huge society, of a multicultural society. And yes, but I would like to see a monument of a woman.
I don't know why you say you're asking for too much, though. I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
Because I am Mexican.
I know why you're saying that. I get it. But at the same time, no, you're not asking for too much because it is
a right.
Yes, it is a right. Being a member of a society, contributing in a lot of ways. And I think it's just justified in a way. There is need for diversity. And we know the past. We know sometimes what it hides. I think there is really important to have that. You are totally right. Yeah, there is need for another statue in the city, more other statue in the city, showing the diversity, the gender diversity, but also the cultural diversity, and just what Hamburg is today.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really needed. Yeah. So you're right.
Oh. Well, you have been working with this topic with me already, and yeah, so I think you have a good answer for this. How do you think spaces can be decolonized in Hamburg?
That is something that you probably can reply better than me. But for the few and the little time I've been around, and the conversation we're having, it is a multiple level. I think we had that conversation earlier. It really has to go deep. I remember growing up at school when I was growing up in Congo, and the level of let's say archive we had on our culture was limited because the program was made. And this is just an example. I'm going on an example. The scholar program, the school program was made by Belgians.
Yes.
It was a really old school program that was still being practiced, applied. And it was more emphasizing the discovery of Congo by a certain person than talking about the people that were there already living and that had the land. The land belongs to them. So I think there needs to be a work done, a reverse work now as well. Starting with the people. It's not always about the spaces, but the people living in the space, the people using the space, the people living in the space. It's like starting by, we have so many things like those monuments we were talking about earlier, bringing the past. But the past has to be told correctly and entirely. So it means educating people and the new generation and the present generation, the future generation on the past, what was done and what could be done better, or how just to change, and including a new narrative.
Yes.
That's really important. And of course, it's often more difficult to teach the older person, yes, because they have things. But I think you used that word once. You said it's a multi-layer work, yes, that has to be done.
The open spaces, they need to really also tell in terms of, like Marx on the open spaces, about the other side of the coin, let's, yes, say like that.
Oh, I love that. Yes. The other side of the coin, yes, definitely.
Okay,
it's me.
It's you.
But out of this one, I'll take this one. Woo! Okay, that's a good one. Sorry about my voice. What would you do if you could decide what to do with the Bismarck statue?
Oh, yeah, this is a big topic for Hamburg, and this is really a disturbing monument, which is being renovated by the city of Hamburg and the government of Germany. I would really love to have an artistic intervention at the monument, really, that is like, I don't know, covering it, putting something on top, besides, but that is like really that you don't see just the Bismarck as it is, but with some kind of artistic intervention at the monument. Yeah. And also to give information that people are standing down there, and they know, okay, this is one, okay, I mean, of course, normally you have in all these monuments, this part of history, mm-hmm, which are written by white historians and celebrating his role in the German politics, and the whole, trying to see, like you were saying, multi-layers. I think that's how history is. It's also like multi-layered and has different surfaces. And I think it's important to watch at this from all these angles.
Yes.
To watch this monument from different angles, and to write it down, and to put like a video, like something which is also kind of attract to the young generations, mm-hmm, not just letters or text or something.
I have a question for you that's related to what I just asked, but you talking with other people about this problematic with the MARKK statue monument. How have the Bismarck, sorry, yeah. How do they ever been reacting to it?
I haven't had this conversation with older people. I mean, no. But I mean that's also a point. I mean, it has to be,
Yeah, it has to be.
I think the dialogue needs to be open, and needs to also like that needs to be for everyone, multi-layer, and yeah.
Okay. Turn.
It's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
This is just right here in front of me. So I'm asking you, what do you take from your common work together that last influenced or inspired you or your work? And I'm talking about decolonized cities.
Decolonized cities, yes. True. We have worked on multiple projects. That's
yes, but the last
even
one.
Yeah, the last
one.
Yeah,
together.
I've learned many things. The decolonized cities have brought a new layer for me to understand. To understand the problematic of just colonization, and to once again underline the importance, or how important it is to dialogue, to have a dialogue, to communicate between even just other artists, between artists in the continent, to be able to sit down and talk about things, and to understand each other, because we have lived colonization or post-colonization in a different way, but all those things connect. So our last project really helped me understand the problematic, approach it, and kind of just have an argument, being able to sit down and say, oh, okay, actually, it wasn't after colonization or at the end of colonization that everything was good. Everything that was done after also before have impact until this day. So this is those are the things, and this is how we can deal with them, or we can dialogue and get and it's also a sense of freedom for ourselves as well. So yeah, that's what I've learned and got from our last collaboration. And
nice.
This is my last question.
Yes. Okay.
I was about to reverse the question.
No?
No?
It's you
Okay.
asking me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. How would your fantasy city look like?
Wow. Green with a lot of no cars in the downtown, just people walking and bicycles, with beautiful, nice, big, huge apartments that everyone can afford, and living in generations of people together. And yes, I think that could be very good to have. I think there exist in some cities already, maybe somewhere.
Yeah, it's a fantasy,
Yes.
so we are allowed to dream about it.
True.
Okay.
I would like you to make a kind of oracle, which is with the cowrie muscles, and there are 6 of them, and they have a meaning if they are up or if they are down. So I want you, before you leave or we finish, to throw this in the table. And before we do that, I want to thank the beautiful design of this table, which is made by Lucia Lillenhefner.
Yes.
She's part of the project, and also the MARKK to let us film inside the museum. And to thank the team of Shape the Future, Judith, Andrea, Fabian, and now you, Chris. So we finish with this. Take them and see how the future will be. What do you think? What's going to happen? Let's see.
Okay.
It's interesting that this is on top of this.
Yes, it is.
Let's say it's going to be not that easy.
Yes.
We have a long path to go. It's just 1 open and 5 are closed.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think we are going to have a lot of obstacles. But
I would like you to also throw one. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Ooh, well, that's a 6, and that is luck for all of us. Yes.
Yes, we need that.
We need it.
Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Landa, for having me.
And
yeah, see you soon again.
see you soon again. Thank you.
Thank you.